Rachel, grateful recovering alcoholic and stroke survivor. This is the Recovery Daily Podcast, and today I would like to talk about determination, about doing whatever it takes to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. But before I do, I just sat down in my closet because, as you know, I've been recording in my closet, and it reminded me of when I was a kid. We lived in a townhouse, and we had this closet, like a coat closet, under the stairs. And there was a door that was on the back of the closet that if you open it, there was like a cubby underneath the stairs back there. So I built a fort underneath the stairs. There was like a light back there, and I like carted all of this stuff back there, like a little rug, and I put pictures up and everything, and I would just sit in this tiny little cubby under the stairs, and it was like so cozy to me. And I sat down and I was like, I'm sitting like in the corner of my closet, and my computer is sitting on top of my like shoe shelf and my microphone is on the shoe shelf. So I don't mind it. It doesn't bother me at all. I think it's kind of cozy. I was just thinking back to that time when I had that cozy little space under the stairs. I'm sure my mom and my sister probably remember. My brother doesn't remember anything ever, so I doubt that he remembers, but maybe. Okay, enough with the trip down memory lane. So, I remember when I was drinking that I was willing to go to some freaking extreme lengths to get my next drink. The planning, like the obsession that was in my head, it was constant. I may be listening to somebody talking and nodding, but I was not paying attention. I was thinking about, where is my drink? When is my next drink? Where am I going to get it? And if I didn't have one planned, or I didn't know how I was going to get my next drink, then I was probably in panic mode. So the excuses that I would make in order to make sure that I was going to be around alcohol, and the deceit, actually. There was some deceit as well when I'm just hiding the lengths that I was going to drink. So a couple examples of what I did. Let's see. I remember not having, like, I was getting to the point where I couldn't even pay my bills anymore. And my boyfriend moved in, and he had this change bowl like in the office. So we changed my office into his office. And then I don't know, he had this wooden change bowl. So like when he wasn't around, I would go into this wooden change bowl and try to get a bunch of quarters together so that I could buy my wine, because I just was literally running out of money, and my credit cards were maxed and everything. Another thing that I did, I think I told you guys this one about having been out of alcohol, and it was like 5:00 in the morning, and I ran across the neighborhood. I was just falling down and running, and in order to get across the neighborhood to the what I called the drink store, which was just a convenience store, if I took the roads, I would have had to run by my mom's house. So I made sure that I did not go that way. And it's just the fact that it was 5:00 in the morning and I was running through the neighborhood drunk, falling down so that I could get my drink as fast as possible is just ludicrous, And that is the one instance that I think of as far as going to any lengths, because I was just absolutely frantic to get wine. And so my addiction, it drove me literally to standing in dark corners of my house, literally, where I was hiding in my closet, which I happened to be in again. But I remember like turning, so I would be home from work. I would get home from work and I would go upstairs to change, and I would put all my empties that were like in my computer bag. I put them in my knee-high boots in my closet, and then I would turn off the light in my closet and turn on the light in the hallway and turn off the light in the bedroom. So if anybody was coming from the hallway into the bedroom, I could see their shadow while I was trying to throw down as much wine as possible before I had to go downstairs for dinner. Um, and I was lying to the people that I love the absolute mostest in the entire world. I was lying to them. It's terrible. It's terrible what my disease did. And it was just a relentless pursuit for me that brought me nothing but despair. And these days, if I compare it to my stroke recovery, it's like when I think about despair, I wouldn't say I'm teetering on the edge of despair, but I can say that like I can see the pool from where I'm standing, like I'm poolside and I can see the pool of despair from where I'm standing. And that's why I fight so hard every single day. So I don't get any closer. I don't come into the gates of the community pool of despair. Um, but am I doing whatever it takes? Am I doing whatever it takes to stay as far away as possible from that pool of despair? Some days it isn't about grand accomplishments or monumental life decisions. Most days I'm just doing what's right in front of me instead of like pursuing what I initially intended to do that day or intended to accomplish that day. Like the way that my brain works is it's Sunday night and I'm sitting downstairs in the living room with my boyfriend, and we're talking about what we have coming up this week. My brain is making a huge to-do list of all the things that I want to accomplish this week. And it's thinking of things like, I want to start sewing a quilt. I need to complete my paperwork for Social Security disability. I need to contact all my doctors and get my health records updated from the last 2 months so that I can have them on hand whenever I need them. I want to mop the foyer floor, and so on. It's an endless list. Honestly, it's an endless list. And I go through this cycle, and I've mentioned this. It's like a monthly cycle. That's funny. It's a monthly cycle where I'll get to a few days where I'm just feeling really poopy and I feel kind of helpless and I don't know what to do. And then I'll like scratch my way out of that, and then I'm feeling good again. And then I'll go through this phase in the month where I want to accomplish everything possible. Like I have an entire to-do list of things to check off by the end of the day that I want to accomplish. And then there's days like today when I realize, oh yeah, you and your boyfriend talked about this already. We are going to complete one thing today, Rachel. We're going to complete one thing today. So, today was a day like that. It was filled with small choices that aligned with my values, and it might not be what I want to do in the moment, but those are the days that are most rewarding to me. So today, I picked up my paperwork. Actually, it was a weird day today. I took my nap in the morning instead of in the afternoon. I know, strange. So, I actually woke up, did my 7 a.m. sobriety meeting, and then the dogs and I went back to sleep, and we went to sleep until noon. So I slept from like 9 o'clock till noon. Ooh, it's making me yawn thinking about it. And then in the afternoon, I got all my paperwork. I had a load of paperwork to do for the application for Social Security disability insurance. So that's a whole process that I have to start. I think I've been trying to avoid it, but there's no avoiding. And it was the thing that was right in front of me that I needed to do. So that's what I did, and it really wasn't that bad. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. So in retrospect, like, my disease of alcoholism taught me an extraordinary amount of stuff about myself, and including the lengths that I'm capable of going to in order to get what I want or what I need to have done. Back then, it was wine. And to be able to see the lengths that I was willing to go to get that wine, I set myself up for, all right, Rachel, like, you are capable of doing a lot in order to get what you need or what you want. So I set myself up for having to really show that I'm willing to do to that extent for my sobriety and my mental health. So I should be willing to go to even greater lengths for my sobriety and my health and my well-being. If I was thinking about this morning, if I ran out of money, I wouldn't have just said, oh, okay, well, I'm not going to drink today. Oh, well, I'm just not going to get wine today. But I wouldn't have done that. Like I said, I would have dug through my boyfriend's change bowl in order to get alcohol. So, I need to, if I don't feel like doing yoga today, so what? I mean, unless I'm feeling physically unable to do it because of my impairment and my limitations, then fine. But if it's just because I don't feel like doing it because I'm feeling poopy, then that's tough. That's not how I would have treated my my obsession with alcohol. So that's not how I should treat my physical health and taking care of myself. If I'm feeling off kilter one day and I call 5 people in my sobriety network and nobody answers my call, this happened before when I was early on in sobriety. Nobody answers my call and I need fellowship. I'm feeling, really icky and not trusting myself. Or do I just say, well, you know what? My sobriety is life or death, but the 5th person didn't answer, so meh, I'm not going to call anymore. No, I'm going to call a sixth person, a seventh person, however many people it takes for my sobriety. And that's what I was willing to do. But, like, I'm going to a lot of doctors right now for my stroke recovery. So to try to figure out what the heck is wrong with my head and my eyes. If 5 doctors don't know what's wrong with me, and I think we've surpassed that number of doctors that don't know what's wrong with me. If 5 doctors don't know what's wrong with me, then I go to a 6th and I go to a 7th, however many it takes. So doing the same thing, going to any lengths to take care of this one body I get. I get this one body, that's it. And fascinatingly, sometimes the best thing that I can do is to pause. It's the best thing that I can do for myself. So, yesterday I talked about active surrender, and today I want to talk about the pause, right? And the resting and the napping, because these are all actions too. And doing whatever I have to do for my health right now includes stopping and resting. And for me, I've talked a lot. I think I've alluded to a lot about how, like, I'm just constantly moving and doing something and thinking about something. So to go to any length for me to take care of myself, that includes forcing myself to stop and pause and rest and take a nap. These are all actions, and I heard that also in one of the stroke survivor support groups that I went to. They were talking about how important it is to nap, and that lots of people think that that is not an action, but it is an action. And doing whatever it takes for my pain sometimes is closing my eyes. So I am mapping and adapting my day around these pauses and naps. And I've learned to schedule my days with a lot of care. It has taken me some time to get good at that. But when friends or family are offering to visit, I have to adapt and make sure that I still have time to take my downtime, my hopefully fall asleep, because that's the thing that feels the best, is when my brain actually completely shuts down and not just closing my eyes. And these naps and moments of rest are really just as sacred and indispensable to me as any of my doctor appointments. So, and I have another example of doing whatever it takes. So, my dog Autumn, right? My energetic Weimaraner. Our walks before I had my stroke were measured in miles, and 4 miles to be exact. But now, with the physical challenges that I face, we focus on training and discipline during our time outside. So I can't just not take her out anymore, right? It's something I have to do. It's something that I have to go to any length to take care of my dog. And in order to do so, Autumn and I, because we're in this together as a team, because she's so adorable, we have shifted from the goals of distance and just getting her to the point of pure exhaustion to exercising her mind instead. And it's something that I definitely learned when we had a trainer come to train both of the dogs, help me train both of the dogs. And we did realize, my boyfriend and I, that it's not the physical exhaustion that she needs, although that helped just enormously when she was a puppy. But she just needs a job. And so we've adapted. And, I couldn't just say, well, Autumn, you're not going outside anymore. No fun for you. I had to do whatever it takes because that girl, she just wants to have fun. And so we go outside, and I'm teaching her how to not to do different things. So she still likes to pull. If I don't have her doing heel where she's walking beside me and I just let her roam however she wants, she'll pull on the leash. So I'm teaching her not to do that. And so it's like this halfway between heel and running free. Like she has to not pull on the leash and just kind of walk around my perimeter a little bit. And she's learning how to do it. And I just walk really slow because that's all I can do is walk slow. And she's learning how to adapt. So it's been a fun learning opportunity for her. And I don't know. I feel like just saying that would make like my family laugh because I really do constantly try to find joy in things that could be very frustrating. And I was frustrated in the beginning, but I don't have a choice. I have to find the joy. I have to figure out how to do things that allow my joy to surface. So that's what we do, Autumn and I. And I think she likes it. I think she's been doing really well and not chewing up the house. So I think it's working for us. She's also getting older and a little lazier, so that helps too. So in this current phase of my stroke recovery, while I'm still seeking a diagnosis for my vision impairment and my head pain, there is so much uncertainty. And I've talked about this and I'm going to continue to talk about it till I figure out what's wrong with me. But how much do I adapt? How much do I adapt to not being able to do these things because it causes head pain? Do I exercise doing that? They have all of this vision therapy, occupational therapy, and I keep hearing that from everywhere, but I don't see how somebody can be telling me to do vision therapy when they don't know what's wrong with me. That doesn't make any sense to me. If there is nothing wrong, and I've confirmed this, nothing wrong with my vision system, then why am I doing vision therapy, right? I'm not doing vision therapy, by the way. I'm taking a break from that until somebody can tell me what's wrong with me. But it seems to me that exercising my eyes and it causing pain doesn't seem like that's good. Like, I understand what I'm thinking. Am I causing more harm? Because when I went back to work and I kept practicing using the computer and doing these things, I practiced for like 2 years. It was exactly 2 years until it got to the point where I couldn't even function anymore. I did more harm to myself than good. I wasn't getting better, I was getting worse. And I understand that rehabilitation is gradual and therapy needs to be done in a methodical way. I understand all of that stuff. I understand that when others have a stroke and they lose functionality, either in whatever body part they have, that that it can be painful, and to relearn how to use that body part can be painful, just like it is for my eyes. But again, I just don't think that it makes sense for me to be trying to do therapy on something that nobody knows what's wrong. You can't try to exercise a muscle if you don't know which muscle is not working, right? So until I have a diagnosis, I'm doing whatever it takes to stay grateful, surface my joy, and not drink or do any mind-altering drug at all, including muscle relaxers or anything like that. That is what I'm doing. That's where doing whatever it takes is that's what that looks like for me. So I'm not missing a single 7 a.m. morning meeting and my evening podcast recordings. These are going to any length for me, is continuing to suit up and show up every day for these things that are providing me with the mental, emotional, and spiritual health that I need, well-being that I need. So every day I'm choosing to go this distance for my recovery, to adapt and embrace the changes necessary for my holistic health. And it's not about saying I can't anymore. It's about asking, how will I instead? And that's what I've got for you today. So thanks for walking on this path with me. I might not know what my destination is, but I'm just going to keep walking. And I appreciate you coming and listening and being a part of this walk with me. So thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.